Good afternoon. My name is Pat Hannon. I am the Chief of Academic Development for United States Air Force School of Aerospace Medicine. Today we're going to be talking about the principles for reducing extraneous processing in multimedia learning. There are five principles, and they are the coherence principle, signaling, redundancy, spatial contiguity, and temporal contiguity. I will be talking about the three: signaling, redundancy, and spatial contiguity. Signaling are when cues are added. In other words, you have the text on the screen and you want something to bring out that text is more important than the rest of it. I did this in the first one where I changed the color of the text on the three topics that I'm going to be covering. Again, that's a cue as to where your eyes should be drawn. You're looking at those three now. Another example would be for baseball. If you're teaching somebody about baseball and you want to start labeling the players, as I did in here, the batter, the catcher, and the umpire. Okay, and this again is an example of how cues are added. The redundancy principle is when graphics and narration are done by themselves and there's no written text on the PowerPoint slide. This slide is incorrectly where it has the text. If I were to read it along with you being able to read it, it would actually fall under the redundancy, and it would actually cause a little bit of an overload, and you're not going to be able to understand the subject matter as easily. So as you're reading it, if I was to go, basketball is a sport that has 5 players from 2 teams attempting to place the ball in the opponent's basket while stopping the other team from placing it in theirs. Again, if you were trying to read it while I'm reading it, that's redundancy. If I were to say it and only show you just the picture, you would actually be able to learn more because you'd actually be able to focus on the picture while hearing. You're going to be using both of your sensors, your eyes and your ears, rather than trying to use your eyes and your ears to get the same topic. And the last one we're going to talk about is the spatial contiguity. This is where words and pictures are presented near each other. So an incorrect method of doing that would be like this. Again, we're going to talk about a sport, we're going to talk about football, but now I have the words down at the very bottom, the picture up at the top, and there's even the header that's in between them, splitting up those. A better idea would have the header up top, the picture in the middle, and the words directly below it. That way, your eyes don't have to travel as far in order to see the picture and to see the text. Today we talked about the principles for reducing extraneous processing and multimedia learning. I focused on 3 of them: the signaling principle, redundancy principle, and spatial contiguity principle. Thank you.